Welcome back, everybody. Trying to get more frequent, and so far it has been working very well. So, quick pitch before I jump into what I've been working on. My husband and I built a game engine in C++. We did it just for fun and for learning, and just didn't really know if it would go anywhere, and then we just kept working on it for 5 or 6 years, and now we can actually use it to make games. So we're trying to make our first commercial game with it, and the game is going to be a um, rogue, or not a roguelike, a reskin of Dominion is where it started, but it's going to be a CRPG dungeon crawler aesthetic compressed into a 30-minute experience in a deck builder. And maybe sounds like it's too many genres, but I think it's going to be really, really cool. So today I'm working on prototyping the class selection menu. I was working on that last time I streamed too. I'll show you where I got as soon as I get my YouTube open so I can see comments and such. So my new tack, instead of trying to be more organized and streaming bigger streams, my new tack is I'm just going to stream every time I'm working on the game for more than an hour. And we're going to be close because I normally go to bed at 9 Central and it's 8:30, but I'll probably stick it out a little bit longer tonight because I'm really excited about what I'm working on. So when I left off on the stream last time, we were just starting to cobble together the buttons on the UI. I haven't gotten much further. I worked on it a little bit this morning before work, but I'll show you where we are now. So we have our main menu, so it might look like I got a lot done, but I really just took my existing barbarian and put a wizard hat and then a rogue hat on them to differentiate for now. And then put the starter decks, and then of course their little descriptions. And these are buttons. Right now when you click them they don't do anything, but what we're going to code up hopefully today is when you come in here, the players will be randomly assigned a picking order, because in this game class will matter. The idea here is that the library of cards is really just skills or actions. So for example, any one of these abilities is really a card underneath the hood, but it's played like it's like an action that you take. So apply healing salve, that's a card. Cast magic missile is a card. Train strength is a card. And in order to buy more of these cards, you have to level up. So when you play train intelligence, you will get 1 ephemeral intelligence point. Then at the end of your turn, you can use that to level up. And then you can purchase more abilities or more cards. And that will be very similar. It'll feel very much like leveling up. There'll be a skill tree and you will unlock more abilities. I'm really excited about that. But the reason that's relevant here is because there is a fixed shared library between all players, and it will be punishing and constrictive to try to multi-class. One could multi-class, but there's an example. So cards require these train intelligence, train strength, or train agility cards to be played in order to purchase them. So like I was mentioning, if you play a train strength, you get 1 ephemeral strength attribute point that you can spend at the level up menu. And then there are some cards that require 5 strength to purchase. Some cards that require 15 agility to purchase, or 25 intelligence to purchase. And then on top of that, there will also be minimum stat requirements for specific cards. So you can not only do you have to spend 15 intelligence, but you must already have 5 intelligence spent over the duration of the game in order to unlock this branch. So it pays to single class. And where that comes into play with picking your class is, since the deck library, the card library is shared amongst all players, if everyone picks wizard, everyone will have contention over the wizard cards. So picking order is important. And my husband already coded up on the server side the class selection picking order. And I'm trying to understand his code today and then get that plugged into the UI. So that is the mission. So to interact with the server, we have this game instance class, and it gets created as soon as the game moves from the main menu mode into an actual instance of a game. And the game instance can send client requests to the server and get the game state object, which is just a big old struct of player data, enemy data, global state data. And then we also have game events. So on select class, on prompt select class, and my UI class here let's go to the controller. Takes in game events, so it'll be able to respond to handle on prompt select class, on class selected events. But what it can't do right now is send a request to the server saying, here is the class that I picked. And what I need to do tonight is make some kind of layer, because I don't want to put the game instance directly into the controller class for the UI, because it feels a little bit like it's not the right separation of concerns, because there's going to be a lot here. And really all the UI class needs to know is, what do I want to tell the server? And I don't care about how do I build a command to send to the server. I just want to say, hey, here's my class. So I'm going to build a little layer tonight that I've started on here called command dispatch. And and the other caveat with the game instance is I can't inject it into the controller at construction time, because the controller gets constructed before, the controller gets constructed as part of the UI, and the UI gets constructed when the application gets constructed, and the application gets constructed when we're in the main menu phase. So we're not actually in the we don't have a game necessarily when we start the application, or we will not have a game when we start the application, not until you hit start game. So this class outlives the game instance class. So I can't just directly inject the game instance here. And it'd be nice to have a little layer class. My husband was giving me this advice. Have a layer class in between that niceifies interacting with the server from the UI, and also handles the checking to see if a game instance has been created and fetching it if so. So that's the mission. All right, so command dispatch is going to live probably in UI. One of my toxic traits as a programmer is I have an understanding of where I think variables should be grouped together when they're declared. And it's not alphabetical, I'll tell you that. And it sometimes changes over time. And it can make it very difficult for me to remember why I put it here, but it just feels like it should go here. Okay, so you're gonna own the command dispatch. See, here I am. I already have to go back and check where I put it. down here. It should go earlier because it's going to feed into those classes. Let's put you way up here. Okay. Hi, Galandable. I hope I'm saying that right. The UI passing around the dispatch looks complicated. Yeah. It is. This is iteration 3 of the backend for the game. My husband had started, we'd worked on a game called Rust Belt that we abandoned, but he had set up a really nice networking infrastructure for that one. And then I copied a lot of that over to this game and started building off of that, but it was just too complicated for me to follow. So then I decided to rewrite it completely from scratch and figure out networking for the first time. So I did that. And then it was working fine, but there were some problems that were going to come up and bite me, and some limitations that I put in on purpose because it didn't seem worth the squeeze for me working solo, because at the time my husband wasn't working on it with me. And then he just recently rejoined the project a couple weeks ago and has come in like a bat out of hell and has helped me clean up so much stuff. So now we have a much more robust architecture. But downside of that is because we are very, very busy, we see each other very rarely. So we have to basically communicate. I mean, we see each other all day, but we don't actually get to talk code very often. So we have to leave each other detailed notes. And right now I have a reasonable understanding of where he's architected everything, but I don't have an intuition for it yet. So it is a little complicated. Okay, so we know for sure that we need to have an instance manager in here because we need to get the game instance. We just need a pointer to the instance manager because we're going to get the instance when we know we're in the context that we already have a started game. So I think you're forward declarable. I feel like such a boss when I remember how to forward declare. Remember to forward declare something. I've gone years without ever bothering to forward declare, but oh, no buffing. No buff. No buff. No. I've got a buffer. No buff. Okay, Zap. The stream might devolve into me just snapping at my dog. Yeah, networking is really hard. I thought that the scope of this game is about as small as a commercial game could. Well, that's not true. You can make any commercial game you want, but Silver do? No. Settle. Yeah, I know. The scope of this game is reasonably small as far as networked games go. But, so I thought, like, what a great example or what a great time to learn networking. But networking is really tough. Hold on, I'm gonna mute here. Get him to stop buffing. It's a lost cause. He's probably just gonna buff. All right, so I was forward declaring. Anyway, networking is a lot more complicated than I thought it would be. But if you do get into networking and you don't mind being bound to Steam, the Steam matchmaking is Zipford Duke. Nope. The Steamworks API makes it a lot easier than just doing like eNet or something a little bit lower level. Okay. I've completely lost my train of thought. This is what you get when you get a buffer. Oh, you're working on a game engine? Oh, welcome. One of my favorite things to do and my favorite things about the internet is just code next to people. And usually that's my husband, but now we're in separate rooms because I'm upstairs and he's down in the basement. Because our sleeping schedules are very different. But yeah, I just love sitting and vibing. Hopefully my dog boofing doesn't derail both of us from our tasks for the night. Good luck. What kind of project are you working on? What kind of engine? Okay, I was forward declaring instance manager, which is a class, not a struct. Yes. Right, so we know that we're going to want to get a handle to the game instance here. Actually, we don't know that. We want, so I'm going to actually make notes of what this class is here so I don't get derailed. So I think I want it to be at the level of like send class selection request. Reactive engines and data structures. Preloading the entire game in a series of byte buffers. Whoa, I would love to hear more about that. Oh, that's really cool. Do you have a channel or a GitHub or anywhere where you're sharing what you're working on? I'd love to follow it. Weird. I'm having a hard time visualizing what that actually looks like if you like. I don't know if people can share links on YouTube, but if you can, point me in a direction because I'd love to look at it later. I'm intrigued. Okay, so this is going to request class selection. I don't know, what do we have here for... And it just sends the request. So we're gonna need this class to... Oh, you don't have a channel? Do you have a GitHub? I'm really curious about what it looks like to load an entire game into a series of ring buffers. And what you mean by turning things on and off depending on input. Like, so say I'm playing Pong, you would need to know, like, even if you don't have a visual... I'm really curious what that looks like. I can imagine the ring buffers, and I can imagine bits, but I can't imagine... Yeah, you should. Is your repo in your YouTube? I'm going off on... This is why I never get anything done when I stream, so I really do have to balance, like, streaming and being present in the community, but also getting stuff done, because now I'm on a side mission. Okay, I'm coming back. So the point of my wrapper class here, this command dispatch layer, is going to be for the UI to send very simple requests. And I might end up like making this just send request and then dispatching depending on the type of request, but we're going to start simple and expand when needed. This is one thing that I have learned the hard way many times over is do not over abstract. Because it might be that this is the only method I'll ever need in here, and if I spend hours making it very generic, then it will have no payoff. And worse, if I start making it very abstract and then come into a use case where the whole abstraction fails and it doesn't map to the new case, then it just becomes horrible spaghetti. Hi, Mika. I didn't get the impression that they were talking about bindless rendering, but I'm very curious. What it sounded like to me was more data-oriented design where you have like, if you just have like an array of bits like 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, and then you can multiply that by some kind of other array that represents like, I think I did this for animation states or something, but rather than like saying it for each item in the array, if the skeleton should be walking, then set it to 1, you can like multiply it by your predetermined state of just a vector of bools, and then I mean, but I'm okay. I'm temporarily banning myself. Oh, they responded. It's I'm doing the render of the logic is based on a 6-phase continuous data loop. Nothing gets called on update. Initialize and sending in a command to an ECS observer queries the component. I'm just gonna have to look at it. I don't know if you can send links, but if you can somehow communicate your GitHub if it's open source to me, I would love to look at it. All right. So what do we actually want to do here? We want to go from landable if you can't send links. You could put like a spell out what your GitHub is, just putting a space in between every letter or something. Hi, Quagmire. Okay, the execution happens by flipping a single bit from 0 to 1 and then goes back to 0 when you're done. Oh, they're getting the repo public. Awesome. I'm just so intrigued. And also, I find when I stream, it's like I can either chat or just focus and not talk to anybody. And so I'm going to try to just straddle the middle and do my best. But I enjoy chatting. Okay, let's get into it though. So let's start with the wiring up of command dispatch into, yeah, okay, so I'm back. I am so back. So we need to check if the instance manager is in-game perfect. And throw in the case where it is not. Before declarants, we want to include your network. No, you're in game. Where are you? Oh, an instance. We need to NC, probably get it from instance manager. Okay, so for those that are just joining, working on the prototyping for my class selection menu, which currently looks like this, and we're going to do order-based class picking, and my husband already wired up the back end, so I just need to wire up the front end to receive the events, receive the prompts, allow the correct user to select their class at the correct time. And in order to do that, I'm creating a layer class because this is our first true UI server communication that follows the typical command prototype or command protocol, because all the other work we were doing with the menu mode involves querying the Steam lobby manager or Steam lobby service directly, because we're not in a game yet. So now that we're in a game, we have server connection established, etc. The rest of our interaction with the server will follow this pattern. But I'm creating the tooling right now to easily connect with the server from the UI. Okay, so we need to then go from So we need to make a new... I wonder if this should be the layer that validates that we are in the correct phase to send the class. That should probably be handled downstream. I'll make sure that it is if it isn't right now. Okay, so how... Okay, and you need a player ID, which we will not need to pass in here because we won't know it. This, or will we? We probably could. Does instance manager know? Okay, instance manager wouldn't know because it's this concept of players is scoped to the instance, not the instance manager. So let's look at game instance. Yeah, nice. No buffin. Mm-mm. No, hey, no buff. No buff. No. No, it's bedtime for everybody now. Including you. Different. Okay, so the game instance. Oh yeah. So then we also need something else here. So we need to get... It's not going to be the instance manager that's sending the client request. It's going to be the game instance. So I'm actually going to work on that first. So we want to have a... Oh, excuse me. Or maybe I can just grab it from the instance manager every time. Then I don't have to worry about caching it and invalidating it after a game is closed. Oh, and then from here, oh, this is working well. No, from here I can get the player ID of this sending player. What else was here in the request? Okay, request type is class selection. So class, I mean. Resolve time is immediate, and then message data is going to be so an example of how he's calling serialize here. Nice. Do you know how awesome it is? Oh, nice, it's public. You'll never know what I was going to talk about. It should be public, but where's the link? Is it on your YouTube? I've heard people say that they can't share links before on chat. I don't know if that's a thing I can control, but if you did send a link, it is not there. All right, so data equals serials. Where's all of this stuff happening here? Serialized data. You live in network message. I don't see it. Will you just spell out what? Yeah, we can't do links. Will you send just like type like type it like this, and then I'll take it all on a field trip. Take us all on a field trip and we could look at it, because I'm really, really curious what you mean. All right, I think that is a functional client request. Then, where was that wonderful test? Okay, so when I do send this request, it'll eventually get picked up and go here. So we want... Oh, I know how to send the request. Away. Send client request, is that what it is? I don't know where my IntelliSense went. Okay, theoretically, that should reasonably work. So let's just make sure that it's plugged into something so the code can get executed. Java to black and the project to sky. Java to black. What do you need? Do you have to go potty? Are you just bored? Did you want to try to get more ham? No more ham. Can you go to bed? Find a comfy spot? Find a comfy spot? No. I know. I know. Okay, I cannot find it. Will you... I think my GitHub is on my channel. Should be. Yeah. Will you follow me on GitHub and then I'll be able to find it? Okay, so now what we were doing here, so this is a little wrapper class is going to send, allow the UI to interact with the server in just a slightly higher level way. Now I need to get it into the UI master class here. Did I already do that? Maybe. Oh, I already did. This is why I'm not allowed to chat with people, including you guys. Okay, so then it should be linked up and I should be able to test the build. There's no way it compiles in the first try. Where are you? Oh. I did not forward declare you in the UI namespace. I swear I didn't. What did I do wrong here? What are you telling me? I sure did. Jeepers creepers. Oh yeah. Okay, so now I just have to pass the instance manager in here. Checking to make sure nothing crashes. Okay. So let's just see what happens if I wire it up just as is before we do any of the timing work. What? Why did you compile? I thought oh. Huh. Oh, type. Okay, so in our not main menu controller, excuse me, our selection controller. Now we want to have the command dispatch. And you can be forward declared. You are in the UI namespace. Okay, so just very simply, we're going to say this would probably be throwaway, but just to make sure that the wiring works. Oh, I can't forward declare it here. I know you're not going to be just as simple as that. So I'll move you into the CPP. All right, I'm on GitHub. I really want to see this damn repository. figure out how. Where are you? How did you add me on GitHub? Well, I can put in a more conservative. Oh, just hit follow. Follow, okay. Following. Okay. Ah, I found you. We've done it. We've done it, boys. Okay, so you have an ECS. What's JSON? Okay. Megan SIMD. Pool allocators. Assets. Oh, are you using Diligent Graphics too? Nice. Yeah, I do too. I have very good things to say about them. All right, I'm going to star and watch and then take a look at this after the stream because I'm very curious. Oh, I want to be a watcher. Yes. Okay, we're rabbit holing now, but I've starred, so I'll be able to find it more easily. Thank you. All right. So we are trying to wire up into our simple server message sender layer here. And we gotta get to the CPP. Just right at the end on prompt. Oh, I never added you to the CMake. That's why you're not showing me compile errors here. You're not trying to link against it. Okay, put you in OOU UI. Dispatch. Whoa. When I was looking at, so I first made my husband made the renderer in DirectX 11, and then I made it in Vulkan, and like just straight Vulkan, and that was really painful. And I earlier in the stream I was talking about the dangers of over abstracting. I way over abstracted before I understood the fundamentals of graphics, and ended up scrapping that. And then we went to Diligent for the third time around. But when I was looking at Diligent, I had looked at BGFX too, and they both seem equally good. I've hit a couple snags with Diligent, but if you guys, or at least you, Galendable, who are using Diligent, have you ever been on the Diligent Discord? Holy cow, you can ask a question and within 3 seconds, the creator of Diligent will respond with a very helpful answer. It's amazing. I'm not actually using you, though. Oh. Duh. This is what I get. You're not staying on task. Okay, so now we have a method in the controller to select the class. So let's just see what happens if we call it in the UI. So, oh goodness, no. It's just a goose. It's just a goose. I want to Yeah, my both toxic trait and best trait is not understanding scopes of things before I start them, and then being too determined to give up. I have seen some dark days in the depths of trying to get my Vulkan renderer going, and it was fun, and it was when you accomplish something, it feels really good because of the work that you put into it, but we are getting down the road of what I was talking about before with like all the abstractions I'd been making, getting down to the road of going down the road of I had so much architecture built up on assumptions that were faulty that adding anything new required rewriting so much of the code. I wish it was a job just to rewrite your own game engine. That'd be the best job in the world. But the cool thing is we're not even working on the renderer or the game engine at all. We're just working on a game now, and it's really cool to be able to say that we are using the engine to be able to make our own game and haven't had updated in months. Okay. What do you need? Did you have to go potty? All right, I just want to see if this works and then we can go to bed, okay? Okay, so class details dot is clicked equals true. Okay, let's try barbarian. Oh, hey, we're getting something. Whoa, what are we getting? Oh, oh, yeah. That's what we're doing. We're sending a request every tick. 60 requests a second. All right, let's try that again. Okay. Oh, everyone's choosing barbarian, so I should choose something else. Okay, I did choose barbarian. But yeah, okay, so let's just wire up the others and try testing one of those. Hey, it is working. Look at that. All right. On that happy note, I've got to go to bed, but I will probably work on this a little bit more tomorrow off stream in the morning. Try to just get the timer based stuff working. Then might stream tomorrow. Again, I'm not sure. Tomorrow evening. But thanks all for chatting. Galandable, I'm going to send you some comments because I'm very curious about what you're doing. And lots of questions. I fundamentally don't know what you mean by flipping a single bit from 0 to 1. But I'm going to look. All right, thanks, y'all.